In today's Leeds news, Rick Passmore's new role, Rasmus Christensen Roma problem, Leeds injury updates, youth call-ups, and how close was Willie Gnonto to Everton. Hey folks, Jer here on the 5th of September with your Leeds news. Hope you're all having a really good week. As I said yesterday, it's pretty thin on the ground in terms of news. However, there is an extensive injury update to go through for players that have been out for a while and the short-term injuries as well. And then some updates on the Willie Gnonto situation, Rasmus Christensen situations that are going on, have gone on and are going on. So we'll get into that and we'll talk about it. We'll start off with Rick Passmore. 2 weeks ago, we announced that Rick Passmore had left his role as Leeds United women's team manager to take up a role in the WSL. It has now been announced yesterday that Rick Passmore's new role is as assistant head coach to the West Ham United women's team. Passmore has been announced as West Ham's assistant manager yesterday, and he signs on before the start of the WSL season. So best luck to Rick Passmore at West Ham. Rasmus Christensen's problems at Roma. Let's talk briefly about this. Yesterday it was announced that Rasmus Christensen was expected to be left out of Roma's Europa League team for the competition due to financial fair play restrictions. According to Corriere dello Sport, though, they're also saying that Christensen may also be viewed as surplus to requirement at Roma. Roma can change their 20-man squad that they registered on February last season. They can change a number of players within that. However, they have brought in 7 players. And it's only anticipated that they will add 5 or change 5 in that list. They've sold 5 players. They're expected to replace that 5 with 5 of the new 7 players. It is said, though, that they have 2 right backs already in that registered squad, and it's unlikely that they will register Rasmus Christensen. I think it's been announced this morning that he's not been registered in that squad. They have sold 5 players, as I said, so there is a gap there of 2. Looks like Christensen will miss out one of the points of moving to clubs like Roma, and that would have been to play European football. Christensen will not be playing European football now, at least in the group stages, or at least until January anyway. However, it has also been reported in Italy last week that Mourinho isn't happy with the recruitment that Roma have done this year, specifically Rasmus Christensen himself. Christensen was taken off at half time 2 weeks ago in Roma's game and was dropped for this weekend's fixture and was an unused sub from the bench. So there's issues out there for Raz. Christensen, as I said, was dropped. He is apparently, according to the reports, his position at the club is under serious scrutiny. Mourinho doesn't mess around with players either. He can fall out very quickly with him. He tends to exclude players rapidly. So what will happen with the situation there? It's not been a great couple of weeks for the Leeds loanees that have gone out, especially the initial guys that went out due to the contract clauses. It's not been brilliant for them so far, outside of Mark Roca, who's having a fantastic time. Should also be said that Mark Roca is hoping to make the deal with Real Betis permanent. There's been a lot of talk today about him falling in love with the area. He's playing very well over there. He's been labelled as a standout player for them, and there is a possibility that they will look to get that move done permanently as soon as they possibly can. Let's move on to Leeds United's injury list, and we'll rattle through these and give you some updates on players that have been out for a while and the short-term injuries as well. Starting off with Sam Byram, he is expected to be available in time to face Millwall after having an adductor injury, only a minor one. Should be back in time for the Millwall game after the international break. Junior Firpo, who's recovering from a knee ligament strain, reports say that he is on course to return later in September, again after the international break, but not guaranteed to be ready for the Millwall game just yet. Dan James, another one of the adductor injury group, had a few issues with it last week. Farkas says that he should be okay after the international break and back in contention for the Millwall game. Liam Cooper, who was out with a plantar fascia injury that was similar to what Pat Bamford had last season, but not to the same extent. They are having to wait on further assessments. The player rolled his ankle during his recovery last week, and they need to check that out. They will have more of a clear idea closer to the Millwall game, but as of right now, he has not been ruled as available just yet. Pat Bamford, first things first, happy birthday to Pat Bamford, who turned 30 today. Bamford's been out with a hamstring injury that he picked up in pre-season. Recovering from that injury, there's no further updates on this except for he should be available for Leeds in the back end of September. And then finally, Stuart Dallas, the one everyone keeps asking about, a broken femur, seriously bad injury. According to Farke, it is still a very long rehab process. The club is being very careful with him and not rushing him. They're giving him all the time that he needs. He is still far away from being available for first team training before we even talk about him being ready to play first team matches. So fingers crossed that he gets the recovery there. It should also point out with Stuart Dallas, there was the initial operation that he had on the femur, but there has been other operations that they would normally have after a major injury to clean up the area and take up any kind of dead material that's in there and stuff like that. So he's had a couple of setbacks, but it's a bad injury. I keep saying this to people. They describe a broken femur as a car crash injury. Usually it takes a car crash to break your femur, that kind of force. Love to know what Jack Grealish's ties are made out of, because that was the collision. So concrete ties. So fingers crossed. Another couple of weeks we'll see where he is with this, but I wouldn't be expecting to see Stuart Dallas this side of Christmas probably. So we move on without him for now anyway. Youth call-ups. Charlie Crew has continued his very impressive start to the season for the Leeds United under-21s. Should be pointed out, Charlie Crew is still 17 years of age and playing for the under-21s and played very well this week as well. Charlie Crew was called up by the Wales team. However, it has been now announced that he's actually been training with the Welsh first team, senior team, all this week. He's still on 21. He's still 17. He's playing for Leeds United on 21 to 17. He's training with the Welsh first team at 17. So that's excellent. So well done, Charlie Crew, and long may that continue for you. Archie Gray was called up to England under 19s squad, but it is now being revealed that Leeds United have withdrawn Archie from the England team due to a small knock that he has. It's also said that Leeds are managing the player's minutes as well due to the amount of games he's played so far this season, but there is a minor knock picked up in the game of the weekend to keep an eye on. And then finally today, to go through the story that dominated the entire pre-season and on the transfer window, Willie Gnonto to Everton, and what happened with this. And there's a lot of questions around how close did they actually get to completing this move. Was that ever really as an advanced stage, as we were told by ITK in the no pages online? Well, apparently not. Sean Dyche has been talking with the Echo in Liverpool and basically says that Everton never really got close to getting this deal done. Despite the reports that were out there, he says. Everton were consistently linked with Gnonto, and what we heard over the course of the summer window was medicals booked, personal terms agreed. Fabrizio Romano even said personal terms wouldn't be an issue and were agreed with the player. However, now according to Sean Dyche, that is not the case, and these reports are untrue according to Dyche. This is basically what Sean Dyche had to say about it. We weren't close enough to any situation. The truth is that certain parameters and guidelines were missed. It's where we're at. The club is not where it was 2 or 3 years ago, and that is apparent. So Dyche doesn't seem overly happy with the situation that he's in at Everton as well, but he's made it very, very clear that at no point during this window were Everton close to signing Willie Gnonto. So that puts to bed any talk about personal terms being agreed, medicals being booked, the player's agent travelling down on transfer deadline day, Gnonto looking to go down on transfer deadline day. It's all said to be untrue, and that comes from Sean Dyche directly himself. So we can put that one to bed and we can move on from it. Also, just a reminder today as well, if anyone's interested, we are still doing the partnership with Toffs for the retro shirts. Any Leeds or any retro shirt on the Toffs site is available. The discount code in your shopping basket is TheView15, and that is linked down below. You can check that out as well if you want to. A couple of people have already got them, which is great. They're fantastic shirts. They fit really well. I thought they'd be a really old school material when I bought it. They're not. They're actually quite a nice material. They're actually quite modern as well. Cotton and lovely. So you can check them out if you want to as a perk for watching the channel. And that's going to be it for me today, folks. Have a cracking Tuesday. Go outside, enjoy the sun, get some fresh air, and I will talk to you on Wednesday with more Leeds United news. Have a great day. Bye.